Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. We got not a ruling on the summary judgment, but a ruling on what expert testimony can be included and not included in the Ripple case. And I think overall, in this ruling, Torres slightly favors Ripple. So basically, both sides filed to have certain expert testimony precluded, which means omitted from the summary judgment, more or less. Defendants refers to Ripple, and obviously the SEC refers to SEC. So defendant's motion to preclude expert number one from testifying is granted as to his first opinion about the perceptions of a reasonable XRP purchaser and denied as the remainder of his testimony. So what that means is like the rest of his testimony is okay, but his own opinion on what's a reasonable XRP purchaser is actually going to be omitted, which means like if you make something up about like X being the typical XRP purchaser, then that's going to be ruled out. Now this is kind of bad for the SEC because the SEC does use this to bring up part of this case. Defendant's motion to preclude expert number two from testifying is granted as to his fourth opinion about the materiality of Ripple's potential disclosures. So like what Ripple told the customers, that part of the testimony is going to be omitted. Defendant's motion to preclude expert number three from testifying is denied. So basically the third expert is going to be able to testify. Defendant's motion to preclude expert number four from testifying is granted, so he won't be testifying, as to his third opinion about the risks of XRP ledger that might materialize if Ripple walked away. So essentially, they're not going to consider what happens if Ripple just walks away, what happens to the ledger. Fair, and denied as the remainder of his testimony. So like the rest of it will actually be good. Defendant's motion to preclude expert number five from testifying is granted as his opinion on causation, or X causes Y, obviously, and denied as the remainder of the testimony. I'm going to guess this one is mostly like about how basically the actions of Ripple affects XRP's price. The SEC's motion to preclude Schwartz from testifying is granted, so David Schwartz cannot testify as to his opinion on the Supreme Court's legal ruling in Howey. So Schwartz cannot actually comment about the Supreme Court's legal ruling on Howey, but he can actually do everything else. And then the next page, the SEC's motion to preclude Adrian's from testifying, these are Ripple's witnesses, is granted as to his first and second narrative opinions and denied to the remainder of his testimony. The SEC's motion to preclude Borden from testifying is denied, so he's going to be able to testify. The SEC's motion to preclude Easton from testifying is granted as to his rebuttal, so he can't use his rebuttal, but he can use his opening report. The SEC's motion to preclude Yadav from testifying is granted as to her third opinion about where an offer or sale of XRP occurs. So her opinion about what's the most likely place an XRP sale occurs, if on an exchange, if it's secondary, basically she's not going to be able to voice that opinion, but she can actually voice her opinion on the rest of the testimony. The SEC's motion to preclude Farrell from testifying is granted as to his legal opinions, including his second and fifth opinions in his opening report and a portion of his rebuttal report, and denied as the remainder of his testimony. So the SEC's motion to preclude Osler from testifying is denied. So a lot of these from the SEC, you can see denied, and basically the only one that's completely granted is the SEC's motion to preclude Fiscal from testifying as to his first and fourth opinions is granted. So basically the SEC got denied a lot, and Ripple they did get denied on some, they were able to actually more or less get stuff granted on where the SEC could really punch them. The thing is, the SEC can't have people testify about the perceptions of a reasonable XRP purchaser. They can't really testify about Ripple's disclosures. And I think those are the things that could really actually hurt Ripple, especially in the fair warning defense. So the thing is, there's a lot of things that the SEC wanted to actually strike Ripple on that it doesn't look like they will be able to. And there is a lot of stuff that the SEC wanted precluded, the testimony that wanted precluded, and that is actually denied. Now, this doesn't really change my outlook for the case all that much. I think it's I'm looking at more and more likely it's this actually just going to go to trial. But I think this is slightly favorable towards Ripple. But I don't know if we're going to get a summary judgment. There is a very, very good chance that there's material differences between the two sides, and it will go to trial. And just like Ripple's legal counsel said, it could get appealed all the way to the Supreme Court. So I will see you in another video in about 4 years on this subject. So I will see you guys later. Let me know what you think, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.